Okay, today hoping to figure out the hatching. So we're going to be fixing the hatching animation, and then we're going to be hopefully spawning a jockey upon the egg being hatched, because right now you'll see the egg hatch and then it gets stuck on that frame, and then we need to spawn a jockey there. So trying to figure that out. So the viewport for the egg sprite, we used to have it, if not self-collected, which actually we can probably just add that back in. Only render if we're not collected. But then we can maybe just do that in the render here. So if egg not in graveyard and the egg is not collected as well, then we render it. But if we need to send our egg to the graveyard, which is more important than this, because this will just fix our problem how it looks, but it won't fix our problem as far as the game is concerned, because the egg is still on screen. So we need to say something. We need to test. Or you know what? We could do it. We'll do it in the update function. Yeah, we'll do it in the update function. And you know what? Shit like this, like, we're cycling through all the eggs, seeing if they're invulnerable. This should all be done in the update function, or yeah, in our egg class. Yeah, we shouldn't be doing this out here in the play state. Yeah. I don't think we should be doing this here. Let's just take the code and replace it in our update here. If not graveyard, if not collected. We're gonna say self.egg, yeah. So instead of eggs I, this is just self. And the thing is, we only do this if invulnerable is true. So where do we set invulnerable to true? We do it upon the instantiation in our play state. So we will just have to say here, if self.invulnerable, which gets set in our play state, then we're going to start decrementing our invulnerable timer. So our invulnerable timer gets itself minus DT, which is passed in. And then if our self invulnerable timer is smaller than 0, then our self invulnerable is false, which should stop decrementing us. But then that should allow collision detection between a player and an egg. And then we need to move our egg to the graveyard. But we need to instantiate a jockey with the egg's last X and Y. so that we can, so that we can have it on screen there. So I guess if we do where I think we completely got rid of our jockey instantiation. Let me see. Jockey. Okay. So this is where we did it. We said if the egg is not in the graveyard, and the egg is hatched, then we send it to the graveyard, take the jockey out of the graveyard, instantiate a jockey at the egg/X, which that's a little backwards, but we can... The thing is, I think this is okay to be... Because I don't want our jockey to be triggered by anything in our update function for our egg class. So I think it's okay to have it out in the play state like this. Although I was just thinking that I should move all this update logic into the egg class, or whatever the relevant class is, because our play state's just getting so muddy. But so look, our egg's not in the graveyard, meaning it's on screen, and that very egg, that same egg, is now hatched, meaning we've passed all of our hatching animation stuff. Then let us instantiate a jockey into our jockey table at that same ith index, and we instantiate it at the x of our last x of our egg and our y of our last y of our egg. And let me see if there's another parameter here that we need. It does take an index, which I guess we might as well pair it with. I don't know if we need it just yet, but if we feed in the index there, we can access it. I don't think that's actually necessary, because we'll have access to it in form of I anyway, but I don't know. So we instantiate a jockey. We take our jockey out of the graveyard, which we need to do first, I think. I don't think it actually really matters, because this all happens on the same code block. So graveyard false would mean our jockey would stop getting updated. No, it would start to get updated instead of being overwritten to the graveyard, because we're now taken out of the graveyard. Then we instantiate us at the correct position, and actually we need to shift these by a couple pixels, we'll have to see. And then we put our egg in the graveyard. Okay, so now if we run this, I'm hoping we'll see a jockey come out of an egg hatched, and I'm hoping the egg hatched will disappear and go to the graveyard. But I'm assuming that our jockey will be halfway in the floor-ish, you know. We'll see. So I'm gonna kill this guy and let it hatch. And we'll see. Okay, are we rendering our jockey? Jockeys, if not jockey, graveyard, render. Fuck. Okay, well, this is why we have debugging info. Now we can see our jockeys at 1x. And we'll say jockeys at index 1.x. That's what we're printing out, and it should be -20. Yep, and then as soon as it hatches, it should get last x of our egg. which it does not. So why are we not... When we get our jockey here, when we instantiate us... Oh lordy. When we instantiate it, if the egg's not graveyard and the egg's hatched, I think we might be moving our eggs hatched too soon. How are we doing hatched? We're not doing anything with hatched. Oh no, yeah. Hatched gets true if hatching animation is greater than 4. And when do we move egg to graveyard? Only upon the jockey instantiation, right? Oh, come on, man. Where are we? Yeah, see, we take... So the last X should be getting updated, right? It shouldn't... Last X should not change even if it goes to graveyard. That's how we programmed it, but if that is getting reset to graveyard, it would be in, you know, a logical bug. Oopsie. Let me kill him, come on. Jesus. Oh my... Okay. So look, the last X, upon hatching, last X should stay the same. It does. Our jockey X just does not get it. So why not? So last X isn't the problem, but our jockey instantiation is. Where is our jockey? That's the dummy one. Here's the real one. So maybe we just say if eggs hatched, then we graveyard. We take our jockey out of the graveyard. Let's make sure we've got... Yeah, we start true. And if we are graveyard, we get graveyard stuff. If not collected, we get our last X. That should be okay. So, oopsie. Come on, jockey, where are you? -20 still. Why is our jockey getting overridden to the graveyard? Let's see, anytime we do... Oopsie. If not jockey. Okay, this is not helpful. Boy. If the egg is hatched. Now, what do we do if the egg is hatched? If our egg is hatched, this is the only match. If our egg's hatched, that's what triggers our jockey to go to the instantiation point. And then we don't move our egg to the graveyard until after we instantiate. So why is that happening? Let's just put a 50 here and a 50 here, and we'll see if egg hatched is working right. We could just debug it. Print it, rather. So I'm hoping the egg will be like, or the jockey will be over here-ish. It doesn't. This is... Okay, okay. So this tells me something really jacked up is going on. We're overriding our X with the graveyard somewhere. I'm curious if... Self-graveyard... I'm hard-coding our jockey's X and Y to be 20 upon hatching. Oopsie. Oopsie. So it should hatch and then our jockey X should be... Gosh, what is happening there? Why are we overriding it? It's, let me see if we turn off our update, our jockey update here. If that... It's not so much that we're not seeing it, it's that the X isn't getting populated right. If we just turn off our update, does that give us our jockey in the right X location? Because that's what's tripping me out right now. Just give me the 10, X is 10 or whatever. Oh yeah, 50, okay. So now that's changing. So something's happening in our update that it's overriding if graveyard. Oh, well, we've got to take the jockey out of the graveyard after instantiation is the thing. So, because the inits it to graveyard true. So, come on. Oh, come on. Right here. We take the jockey out of the graveyard after the init is where I messed up. And then we can replace our last X. I still didn't see it render though. But at least we'll have the correct X and Y at this point. We render, we do have it, if not jockey. Okay, fixing our graveyard should make it render. So now I'm hoping it'll render. It'll probably be halfway in the ground because the jockey is a couple pixels taller than the egg is. So, come on, jockey, in the ground. Ooh, not even on the ground. Oh, because we fixed it in our last X and Y. That's good. We just got to change the color in our render. So we'll just snag our white color. And render it. Because if you look at... Actually, no, we don't. Oh, wait. Self X, self Y. I don't get why the jockey isn't in the ground, actually. I don't get why it's actually working right. Oh, it's right here. We give our self Y to be shifted up by 6. So we don't have to do any... That's actually not a good way to do it. Because this is affecting... No, it's fine. It's fine, actually. Because that's just the top of our image, which would be 6 pixels higher, so... I think that's okay, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna see if 3 jockeys work. So we're gonna go... turn on our other vultures. And then try to get 3 eggs hatching. And then hopefully 3 jockeys spawn. Jockey 1 in the bottom right. Jockey 2 on the left there. And jockey 3 here. Hatch. Nice. Now, okay. Look at the points going up. Okay, so we need the jockey collected upon jockey detection. And to see how we need to shift it. So it's not quite, because see how, same with our egg. This is why we have two different egg collision logic, because the sprite is a square, but our jockey fits underneath the ostrich, so it really wouldn't collide until the ostrich's chest hits its head. But since the game is concerned that this is a rectangle, as soon as that rectangle collides with it, it detects that collision. So we should do it a little sooner to make that a little more realistic. And then we gotta trigger our jockey to get collected and then move to the graveyard, and then we got to make sure our print score objects are working for him. That's a cool way to get a lot of points though. Okay. So, I'm gonna turn those other vultures off for the moment. Gosh, I'm freaking tired. We're making good progress, so we're almost back to where we were 5 episodes ago, but with the refactored global table of objects getting set properly. So I guess let's look at our jockey collision, or player to jockey. So if jockey's not in the graveyard and we collide with them, jockey collected gets true. But we need to, we do set it to graveyard. Oh, great. God damn it. This should send it to the graveyard. Let me make sure. Are we printing up if jockey's in the graveyard in our debug? No, let's do that. So we'll say jockey's table at index 1 dot graveyard, and we're going to be printing up jockey's at index 1 dot graveyard converted to a string, and we'll see if upon a collision graveyard gets set to true. It should only get set to false upon hatching, and then when we collide with it, it should become true again. So graveyard false, and then when we collide with it, graveyard should become true again. Which it does, but if we move, graveyard gets set to false, and we instantiate at our same last X position. So it's almost like do we need to change our eggs last X position? Well, no, we should just stop. We shouldn't be instantiated. We should be reinstantiated if graveyard gets false. So we either need to permanently, shoot, I don't know. I'm not sure what to do there. We need to, because Oh, come on. Where do we instantiate our jockey? Not the dummy value, the real one here. If the egg is hatched. Okay, so I think we need to become unhatched, and that'll stop us from reinstantiating. Because this is just running again and again because our egg is still hatched, which our egg hatched is only to control our jockey instantiation, so it's okay that we flip this to false, even though the egg would technically still be quote-unquote hatched. The way we're using this boolean requires us to swap it to false if we only want one instantiation, which is what we want. We don't want our jockey coming back reinstantiated at the egg's last x. The last x is the same no matter where the actual item is. It's just the last x while it was alive. So now, when we collide, graveyard gets true. Ooh, we get our points back, and it doesn't come back. So that's money, man. Okay, so now I guess the moment of truth would be to give us 3 vultures at once. And then hopefully we can get... Actually, what I want to do is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, is set our V to spawn vultures in the same platform. Well, actually, okay. V, okay. So what I'm gonna say is, because I need to be able to run into all of the jockeys sequentially to make sure their points stay on at the proper intervals, because we had to do this refactoring because our instantiation inside an instantiation of all of our class stuff was not functioning as intended. So we need to see if we can hopefully our print scores don't overwrite one another and they're on for the right amount of time each. So what I'm going to do is make pressing V give us 3 vulture instantiations, all of which are close to, just right of our first vulture. So our X would be, we can give it 15 pixels to 15 pixels less subtracted, which would give us on the right, and then same Y platform, spawn point parameter, and then this can be another 15 less on the X, same Ys. So now pressing V should give us 3 vultures all on the bottom, so we don't have to wait for random ones. Okay, well, that's not working. God damn it. I'm gonna say if we put this in our vultures too. So look, we put this new one here. We comment out this old one so we can turn it back on. And we take our vultures 3 and we instantiate it here. So now the timing is going to be right. And then we turn... Oh, that's why I wasn't spawning them all. We had those turned off. But, well, let's see. Okay. God damn it. Right off screen where I can't tell. This is way wrong. Those two were right. Oh, we didn't give the... Okay. let's just do this right. We need them to be a little more to the right. So let's say we start this off at where it is. This one gets plus 15. This one gets plus 30. And now we should be able to get 3 eggs all on the bottom fairly easily. Nice. That's exactly what I wanted. All of them in the same spot. That doesn't help me. It looks like they overrode each other. So when I run through this and collect all the jockeys, ideally we have it like flash 1, flash 2, flash 3, off, off, off. But I think they're going to override each other. Yeah. Incorrect. This is why we had to do all of our refactoring. So we got to figure out why this is still busted. Which is okay. I'm going to put this, actually, we delete this. Give us our normal vultures back. And now if we press V, it should overwrite with those 3 bottom ones. So the first 3 that spawn should be random spawn points, but then if I press V, all 3 on bottom. What the fuck? Why? I don't know. God damn it. They need to get reinstantiated from the graveyard. Or no, I think they just need to. I don't know. I don't know why that's busted. Fuck. I guess for now I'm gonna undo that so we can test 3 again. We'll have to do a little more digging why that's busted for the pressing V. But let's print out if all of our jockeys, if our jockeys collected. Actually, are we even player to jockey? And our jockey gets collected, then our jockey gets moved back to the graveyard. Okay. Then we okay, so if our egg count when do we increment this egg count? That's the thing. We're not incrementing egg count. That's the problem. We're not incrementing egg count upon a jockey being collected, which we should. Because egg count is what we're using to determine how many points we get for a given egg that we collect, but the jockey inherits that score, and we need to increment this egg count just like we're incrementing it here upon a egg collision. We need to increment it upon a jockey collision. Yeah, so if we go to our player to jockey collision, we need to increment our egg count here. And that should, what that'll do is change this index, which will stop overriding the last X and last Y with the last score we collided with. So I think that will solve our problem. We should have 3 on the bottom here. Nice. Perfect. And then remember, we want score, 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 off, off, off. Let's test it. Okay. It almost worked. A double was true for some reason. We should never see a double. God damn it. Boy. If there were one time I thought it was gonna work, it was right there. I did not think it was gonna break right there. Let's try just 2, because I think it crashes because the egg index is past how many we have. So let's try to just do 2. See, why double? Why double score? Yeah, and then the last egg. What the fuck is happening there? So the thing is, we're not instantiating any new print score objects, but all of our print score objects are indexed into our score table at egg count. And I think it's crashing because when we initialize, like if we were to print up egg count, it would give us not what we're expecting. So meaning the logic in there is somewhere jacked. If we put, I'm gonna put our egg count there and see, because ideally egg count should be incremented anytime we collect an egg or a jockey, but I think it's incrementing faster than that for some reason. So we start off at 1. Now if we collect 1, we're at egg count 2. Oh, that doesn't help us because they're right on top of each other. And it's 1 because the indexes have to be 1 indexed, not 0 indexed. So if we collect a jockey, it should say egg count 2, but what I'm thinking is it's going to say egg count 3 or something because it's crashing. Well, it is. Why is double score still printing? Fucking goddamn it. Okay, so if we look, this says 411 in our play state is failing. I'm pretty sure this is our scores table. 411. Yep, our scores table. So what's happening is our scores table is not getting initialized with the right amount of objects, and once we surpass that amount of objects, it crashes. So let's look at our populated. We've got 3 of them. So the question is, if we give ourselves 4, does that stop it crashing by the time we get the 3rd jockey? Goes 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Double score should not have been true. I don't get why it's true. I don't get why it's true. Let's take a look in our print score. Double score is initialized to true because it's in the air, but then it gets set to false when? It should get set to false upon the egg colliding with the ground. So if we say double score, yeah, if the egg bounced off, we set that egg count index to false on the double score. And bounced off the floor is set whenever, so either that's getting wrong, either we're setting this field incorrectly. When do we determine that? Here. If the egg collides with either the ground platform or the, yeah, if it bounces, yeah. If it bounces off the floor. Either the floor of a platform or the floor of our ground platform. It should get set to let me just see. So right now it looks like we're at least getting the timing right. Since we're one index, we needed 4 objects in our print score table so it wouldn't crash. We were doing 3, which wasn't good enough. So look, we should have the 1, 2, 3. Yes, and then disappear, disappear, disappear. Yep. Now for whatever reason, our double score is getting set to true when it should not be. So if we print up I'm going to leave that one actually. I want to say double score. So we're going to say, where is our double score? It's in our scores table at egg count index. And it's a Boolean field. So we're going to say, scores table 1 dot bounced, or dot double score rather. Dot double score, and we're going to print up that dot double score, and that should we're going to do actually we want to do 1, 2, and 3 here, so we can visually see that all of the double scores are getting set to false upon the egg bouncing, which should be the case, but we're still printing up a double score for some reason. Well, we need on different lines, and dot double true. See, so those should get set to false already. Those should be set to false. Yeah, that's wrong. We're fucking up. As soon as the egg bounces, we need to set that double score to false. And if we need to just do this outside of our collision. Why are we doing this in our collision? Yeah, this is why it's messing up. Yeah, this is why it's messing up. We just need to... Okay, whatever. So remember, we had to put double score to false in the collision function of our jockey because we were getting double score. So we were trying to overwrite it right before we did all of our stuff for this. But we shouldn't have needed to do that, and it wasn't actually fixing the more core problem, which we are checking eggs per bounced off floor, but we need to update our double score. Okay, we need to instead of doing it in the collision function between our vultures right here, we need to set this flag somewhere else. It's okay. Damn it. Because that's actually functioning how we're getting our proper score amount. So we need to, because that's why we have it in the collision function, our egg, is so that we can increment it by the proper. No, yeah, because, okay, so this might have been, so why is our bounced off floor not getting set correctly? Oh, well, here, look, we do this before. We've got to keep it consistent and do it before we add our score amount, because I'm pretty sure our score amount, our double score only affects what we're rendering, so it doesn't really matter where we do that. Let's see if moving that up, I don't think it would have changed anything. Yeah, see, double score should be false every time the egg ever bounces off the floor, double score should be set to false. And those should have not been double scores, so instead of setting double score to false upon a collision with an egg, oh, see, so we would just have to do this same with jockey. So where's our player to jockey? See how we had this here, but we weren't actually checking if the egg was bounced off floor or not. So instead of updating the score randomly, we're going to be checking the bounced off floor boolean for that given egg, which is not the egg, but it's actually if the index of our jockey that is collided upon, meaning jockey I. So if we collide with a jockey I, let's say it's jockey 2, then we check if egg 2 has bounced off the floor or not. And then we set the appropriate score depending on if we've bounced off the floor, and if we have bounced off the floor, we wipe our double score to false. But that still doesn't give us, I feel like double score should get set to false as soon as the egg bounces, not as soon as we collide with it. So this should fix our problem, but there's a better implementation that we can do. So this should only print white scores, no yellow scores, if I'm assuming it correctly. Fucker. Okay. Almost there. Gotta be a better way to do this. I don't like that we're checking the double score in the collision. We should do it. We should be updating our double score boolean whether or not the egg is bounced yet, not upon a collision. So let's fix that. So this, instead of eggs bounced off floor, it should be if double score is true, then give us double score. Otherwise, normal score. And then same with this bounced off floor. We still have to check that and update our double score appropriately, but we don't want to be checking that here or changing it here. So we're going to say if double score true, then give us double score. Otherwise, normal score. And then, last but not least, this one, double score, true. Then give us double score, else normal score. Okay. Now we need to do something like we can cycle through all of our scores table elements, and if the egg is existing, if the egg is not in graveyard, we can be checking for the bounce, because our bounce logic, bounce.floor field is still getting set, so we can just say I'm thinking we can say if our if our we need to check every, or I guess we say I gets 1, 3. We're gonna say eggs at our egg I table dot bounce dot floor. We're gonna say if we have bounced off floor, then we set our corresponding print score object in our scores table at index egg count to be false. So we'll say scores table at egg count dot double score gets false at this point. That should fix it as far as our debugging is concerned, but we don't really want to keep setting this to false every single frame. So maybe we say and eggs not collected. So it will be doing it every frame until it's collected. And not eggs collected. So now in our debugging, as soon as our eggs bounce, it should be false. Yes, yes. Oopsie, what the fuck? It worked for one. Fuck. Why did that jack up everything? Okay. Okay, totally wrong. Totally wrong. What the fuck? See, that was not right at all. Because this is changing it of the egg count index, but we actually need it to be the eggs. No. I. Yeah, we need to change the index of whatever egg we just bounced off floor to be false. Okay, nice, that's it. Now, let's hope only white scores. Come on, only white scores. Fucker, why double score? It's double scores false. Why on the last one, man? The last one was... let me try to collect them left to right and see if it's the last one or if it's just index 1 that is double scored. It's the last one. Why is it the last one? What the fuck? The double score is set correctly, which is what I'm not understanding. Why did we have to do 4 here? Because we should only need 3 objects. One at index 1, one at index 2, one at index 3. So why do we need 4 just to prevent it from crashing? I don't get that. It's because egg count starts at 1 is why. So if egg count starts at 1, our egg count becomes 4 upon the last egg collected. And if our egg count is 4, that shouldn't have anything to do with our scores table though. Oh, but we're indexing via our egg count, which starts at 1. So it's just because our egg count starts at 1. I think that makes sense. Because we only need... So yeah, wouldn't that be messing something up somewhere? It's because by the time... Yeah, we need 3... Okay. So I think we can actually just do I is 2, 3. That'll give us only 3 objects. No. 2, 3, that's wrong. It's 1, 2, 3. Fuck. So start at I1. We only need 3 objects in our scores table. So I1, 3 gives us 3 objects. But that causes us to crash because we're indexing via our egg count into our scores table. And our egg count starts at 1, and by the time we collect all 3 eggs, it'll become 4. So we want... It's like we need our egg count. Okay, I think this is the problem. Because it's the last egg that's getting busted. We're never setting our scores table at index 4 to be double score getting false. That's why it's always the 4th one. So this is the problem. So we either see, so we need to index by we're not using I here, so this is just gonna give us 3 objects, but we need 4 objects because we're indexing. Okay, so we need to... Why is this so hard for me to think about? It's because our egg count has to start at 1 because we can't index 0. So it's like we need a shift. It's like we need our first scores table object to be a dummy object. No, we don't. Fuck. We just need... Oh my God, why is this so hard to think about? Because what's happening is we only need 3 objects, but when we index into them, we index it by egg count, which starts at 1. So, because you can't index at 0, so where do we do egg count? So, it's because we're doing it at egg count, but egg count starts at 1. So by the time egg count gets to be 4 by collecting 3 eggs, we don't have enough scores in our score table. So what do we need to shift here? It's like we only have 3 objects in our scores table, but I think we need this minus indexing egg count minus 1. It's like we need to increment our egg count first and then have our scores table at egg count minus 1. So it's giving us the proper index. That way it's never indexing the 4th object in our, and we should be able to change it to 3 at that point. Okay, so I'm gonna see if we can do this where we say, hey, why don't we just increment our egg count right away? But instead of indexing at egg count, we're indexing at egg count minus 1. And what that's going to do for us is since our egg count starts as 1, when we collect an egg, our egg count will become 2 because we increment it. But our scores table needs to be indexed at 1. Does that even change our freaking problem? I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna increment our egg count, because the problem is that we're indexing at egg count, and by the time we collect our 4th egg, by the time we collect our last egg, our egg count will be 4, which is incorrect. Egg count shouldn't be the word for it. It should be, egg count shouldn't be the word for it. But we also need the minus 1 here, because we're trying to only change the correct scores table index, which is going to be 1 less. So now, by the time, so bear with me with the, if we do egg count first and then index at egg count minus 1, by the time we collect the 3rd egg, our egg count's 1, we collide, we increment to 2, our egg count will be 2, but we're indexing at the 1st index because of the minus 1. So by the time we collect a 3rd egg, our egg count will be 4, but we're indexing at egg count 3, which means we don't need our for I is 1, 4, because we only have the 3 objects and we're only indexing into the 3rd object at the most. So that's what was causing the crash on the 4th, and that's why I fixed it by adding a 4, but that's why the double score was only on the 4th one, is because we were never cycling through and changing double score to false on a print score object that is in the 4th index, because there's only 3. There's only 3 that we're trying to change, so that's why it was jacked. But that screws this up. God damn it, 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 god damn it. Okay. This is just jacked. We needed egg count to start as 1 because we couldn't. God damn it. God damn it. This isn't the right way to do it. I know what the problem is. It's just tricky finding the solution. So I'm going to leave us a note. We need to change egg count. We need to change the fact that it's called egg count, and we need to change. Oh, come on, where? Where was our print score? Here. Okay. Yeah, we needed to do this differently. Yeah, we need to... If our egg score is 1, and it has to be so we can index a 1. I don't know. It's a weird problem. It's a weird problem. I don't know if I'm overthinking it or what, but I'm gonna have to figure it out later. I'm just a little fried right now. But we got jockeys working, and we identified the problem. Now I know why it crashes unless we do 4, and we know we need to fix that. Egg count is just so that we can determine what? Why do we even need egg count? We need egg count because we need to determine the order of our... Egg count is just the index of our scores table. And we increment our index, our egg count, upon either collecting an egg or collecting a jockey. So it's just a way of saying, hey, we're, print up this amount of score, which starts, we populate it here ahead of time. And then we shift our index of it. See, we shouldn't even need to shift our index of it, because it should be determined by the index of whatever we're colliding with. So we shouldn't have to do egg count. We should be able to factor that out, I'm thinking. Because it should be, the egg count was yeah, we shouldn't even need that. We shouldn't need that. Because instead of egg count, we should literally just put in I, and that'll fix our problem. And we don't need to increment egg count because the egg count was just to shift the index of our scores table, which now that we have I, now that we're cycling through with the for loops because we took it out of the update function in our classes, now we can, we don't need it. So I'm pretty sure that's the answer. We did this. I'm gonna say next episode's gonna be factor out egg count, replace with score table or whatever at index I in our for loops. And that'll solve our problem of our egg count being incremented to 4, which we shouldn't have even been doing now that we moved this stuff into the play state. So that should fix it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got our egg hatching animation working today. We got our egg in the graveyard logic working today. We've got our jockey spawning correct today. We got our jockey collision mostly right, minus our 4th index of our egg count that we need to factor out next episode. So we'll leave this at 4 so we don't crash. I'll put back our vultures at the correct random spawn points. instead of all on the bottom, because we've got that collision working fine, I think. We can turn it back. Well, yeah, we'll have to turn it back. I guess this is just for a tidy commit. But we're going to have to take out all these blue comments next episode as well, because they've been bugging me. And then make sure we can just read our play state better, because our play state is getting big. It's 750 lines right now. And then I want to take out our debugging. So we've got a nice clean commit with our vultures back at their right spawn locations. So, yeah, I think I'm ready to commit. And our egg invulnerable timer needs to be a little less eventually, but it's fine for right now. So, we did quite a bit today. We did fixed patch animation and graveyard, working jockey spawns now, with collision. And we're gonna push it to our origin main and call it a day. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow, and we'll get the egg count factored out so that we can fix our double score print bug on our third egg or jockey collision. And then once that's fixed, we're where we were at, 3 or 4 episodes ago, just with better handling on our objects. Because we do it in the play state now, and they're not tethered to one another, which could have gotten and would have gotten really messy once we'd done the tier system, because then we would have a vulture.egg.jockey.upgrade or .tier or whatever, and then the collision would have been all sorts of mess to deal with. Now we've got them in global tables. We just cycle through them once and call it a day. So we're doing good. I'll catch you tomorrow.